Hey, what's going on? Hey, what's going? I'm over here. Hey, I'm over here. I know. There's something blue on the table. I'm the Jake of all. You guys know I love packouts. I love organization. And in fact, the whole reason that Jake of all sort of started was I wanted a budget-friendly way to organize my stuff, and Sortimo was way too expensive, right? So we're talking about Packout mods, and we wanted to have a little fun this time, and honestly, I was a little tired, and I just decided we asked GROK to generate this episode. Let's get to this, right? What we've got is top 5 mods. We're going to say Packout mods, but you want to know what number 5 is? Number 5 is Makita. Speaking of Makita, every time I am out in public, walking around a store, something like that, and somebody recognizes me or whatever, you know what the first thing they ask me about is? Makita. So we're going to talk about the MaxTrack, but the best part about this is dad jokes. Why don't Packout boxes ever get lost? Granted, we all get lost in my shop trying to find something in the Packout, right? Because they're well mounted. Unlike my excuses to buy more Packouts. So instead of buying more Packouts, we're gonna mount some MaxTrack. You guys seen the Makita, you guys saw the Stack Smarter mount. I guess you could technically use it in your Jeep, on the floor, or you could Packouts on the ceiling. That was a really good video. You could do something like this, right? So it's just a 3D printed, freely available mount. And if you look, we've got some stuff that lines up here, right? So this goes on here, and then if you watch this, right? But better than that, let's actually mount this. I am going to go ahead and install this while I give you some information. Now, just like MaxTrack, this is a pretty new upload to MakerWorld. But what is very nice about it is it's a 3-hour print. You're going to want to print it nice and strong since it's a mount. But it's a 3-hour print. It has 66 downloads. But this system, while it is up and coming and doing great, so is probably this mount, because it's going to allow you to do something as convenient as that. If you've ever seen anybody that's outfitted the truck, or me who's put Packouts on the ceiling, this mount is going to give you a strong, great way to mount this, since even though the system is new, the mods and the ideas out there have been around in the concept, so they're adapting it to this system. So definitely a great addition to get going with getting organized and these mounted to your walls or wherever else, seats of your Jeep, you name it. That's simple. You can mount it and install it. I want to transition to something else, but first let me get this. Oh. That's right. It uses the latch. If you look, it's a ramp little latch mechanism, and that just allows...
Clean your build sheets, boys and girls.
This right here to engage into that. So once you get this aligned, you can see how simple it is to mount. And if you've seen my organization or lack of space, you know that I have to mount stuff everywhere, which means I love mounting. Mounts. I love mounts. So on the JakeOfALL, even though this is number 5, on the JakeOfALL, I'm giving this 4 out of 5 as far as ding-ding-dings of Packout organization. But let's go ahead and move on, and let me show you about this. Let's head over to the printers. Let's go ahead and show you a little bit about what you need to know to print, how to send it to the printer, and all that good fun stuff, because you guys, if you're from the Packout group, it's a daily ask. How do I print? Where do I get? Let me show you.
Keep
Dad jokes. Why did the M18 battery go to therapy? It had attachment issues.
I love you.
But these mounts are gonna fix it right up. Okay, what do we have? We have tool mounts and battery mounts. This is our number 4 item. And I'm gonna tell you right from the beginning, I love mounts and I love the fact that these can hold your tools. And before Milwaukee came out with this guy, this was my go-to item, but then Milwaukee also made the really big battery mounts, right? Big, it's $29. These are free. These are freely to download. In fact, 20,000 people have downloaded it. Over 14,000 confirmed prints. So that's pretty amazing. The user, Indom Reps, I think I've got that.
Indom Reps. INDOM Reps.
But I like, he did the little hexagon pattern. Now this one, you can tell, is remixed from one that was meant to be a actual live battery. I can just tell certain things, but these are freely available. These are on MakerWorld as well. Again, check the comments. But this is going to allow us to do something like that for the tool and that for the battery.
Oh,
now,
no attachment issues there.
Right? No attachment issues at all. Here's the crazy thing. If you want to do inception printout things and make them attach to themselves, it could be the world's weirdest latching mechanism. I don't know. But it's really simple, really easy to print. You're going to want to print these in sort of the way you know you're going to abuse them. You've got something like this. Say you're undermounting this, which means this guy is going to be hanging like this. And in fact, these are a really big pain when it comes to some of these units. You got to sort of force it in and out, whereas this, it's going to go just like that. And then as far as batteries go, we like mounting batteries around our tables and other places. And this is just going to get a nice, inexpensive way. You have your own 3D printer. Might as well download these instead of buying them. If you ever wanted to buy them, we do sell all of Neat Tools, battery and tool mounts over on the shop.jakeofall.com.
They will be linked in the comments along with the downloadable link for
Correct.
these.
So let's go ahead and show you what these look like on the wall.
I love your makeshift wall.
Do you?
Necessity is the mother of invention. And we were out of wall space.
I used to have a portable wall for stuff like this.
Is it like the Wallabout one that we built?
It was the Wallabout, and I tripped over it too much. All right, let's do this. Perfect example. If this was downward, okay, you might want to print that a little stronger. If you were doing this, you might want to, but if you were just mounting like a drill or something like that, your mileage may vary, okay? But as you can see, pretty easy. The batteries, use the tabs. Good to go. Okay, and I know you thought I was going to forget, but what do I rate these? On a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the best, 1 being the least. Now, there's so many out there that do this same thing, but I'm going to say the general concept of tool and battery mounts are hands down a 4 out of 5, right? Bing, bing, bing. That's 3. Bing, right? 4 out of 5, because you don't always want to take up an entire wall space with one of Milwaukee's big battery things. You might not want to spend a bunch, but you might also have a place where you always want to put your drill or your battery and have it out of the way, but have it secured and mounted. You know, they always say that if you put away stuff right when you're using it, that's the best. And not only did I put away my screws, but I also put them in product number 3. And this is nesting bins. In fact, Josh Ed, we're not going to go into ED. Okay. That was my own joke. Hit me up in the comments if you like my jokes better than ChatGPT.
GROK.
Okay, then GROK. So this is a printables and not a MakerWorld. Again, links will be in the description. Don't worry. These are nesting bins, but they're not every person's nesting bins, right? So first, you might want to look. There is a nice wide top. Now this is really great because it makes an easy way to pull. A lot of people always pull the bins out like this, but having this little bridge across the top is great for pulling it out, and it's multi-purpose.
She said.
Yeah, if you like to pull out,
These are for you.
these are for you. But if not, you can just use this for labels. We have one in the bottom. There's different configurations. When you go to the link, you can see what you can download. But this is just a standard double two-way.
But yeah, they're hole divided, like all the way down the center.
And I'm going to dump real quick my screws. Okay, I put them in one side of them, and they stayed in one side of them. So you can put a label on here. You have a top and a bottom. It goes in, and everything is organized.
And these fit in your standard profile bins, so you're not limited to just one box.
Correct. So any bin that runs this, the 5 compartment, the 11 compartment, the standard profile, half width, full width, you name it, if it takes one of these, you can put these cups in them. What's my opinion? 5 out of 5, hands down. Ding, 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 ding. I think I counted 5. Because if it weren't for this, imagine the old way. All of those screws take up that whole bin. Now I can fit 4 different types of screw in one place. And this is where I got my start, which was printing out divided bins. And you're going to actually see number 1 and really figure out where I got my start. But this was definitely in it. Printing out divided bins that go into these, as we call them, nesting bins, and getting the ability to have 4 times, sometimes 8 times. We've had 12-way bins in a standard bins space, and that just gives you the ability to have a lot more in one pack out, and then you don't have to have a garage with as many pack outs as mine. All right. Before we get on to number 2, speaking of number 2, see, again, I think my jokes are better. I mean, I did tell you how much I liked these and how well they sorted up, and honestly, these bins are so organized that even my scrap pile got jealous. Sort of like me at the end of the day, snuggled up on the couch with Jen, and I had good fun stuff. All right, you guys you're here for tools. Let's get on to number 2. These are Packout mounts. Now, you guys listen to the name of the video. I'm going to go on a small rant. I'm going to try to keep it under 15 seconds. 1 million people have made these. In fact, 1 million people have copied a bunch of other people. Packable Tool, which also got that stuff from Pimp My Packout and Stealth Mounts, and everybody has them available. You can get knockoffs on Amazon, whatever, but this is a printing guide, right? You guys post in the Facebook group, where do I download this mount? This one was just on, as of like 2 days ago, a Packout group. I want to mount Packout items to a wall. I want to mount a Packout to the wall. And number 2 is going to let us do that. Shauna Lucia is the Maker World. Again, link in the description.
Nope, printables.
Again, not Maker World. Link in the description. Okay, Packout mounts. Let's get these on the wall. And I'm going to go ahead and mount it, which is similar to the 6,700 people who have downloaded this. But, very simple. Okay, now we need a pack out.
What?
We don't have
Wherever will we find one of those in here?
It's very heavy. Boom. Literally, this conversation about these comes up all the time on the Packout group. I want to put a pack out here, but I don't want the big bracket. The big bracket is what you ask. If you wanted to mount that one, this is Milwaukee's equivalent. If you want to mount a double width, right, a standard profile, you put 2 of these right next to each other. I want to make sure you see that.
This one doesn't lock though, does it?
No,
No.
this one does not lock.
So you would need to make sure that if you're using it in a space that involves movement,
Correct.
that you have a latch, which is also a question that we get all the time.
Yes.
Why don't these lock in? I don't know, George. How does your Packout lock in?
Right, you need a latch. If you have it where it's defying gravity like this, and it's downward, not defying gravity, I guess it is defying gravity, whatever, you don't necessarily need a latch. But if this isn't a service fan, you're going to want a latch. Now here's a crazy thing. If you don't mind pushing the button on your Packout, you can always use these as latches. You can always cut these in half and have it to where to get it out, you just pull the latch. Okay, you set it on top like that. You follow me? Electron Smith did a cleat thing that goes into here, and then he also designed a latch that goes with it, which we sell those latches all the time, but you can get them from Electron Smith as well. He is on printables.
He's on the internet.
He's on everywhere. But if you just Google Electron Smith, you'll find him. He's got a great stuff, and we're going to show more of it. But there's definitely latches you can get for it if you're worried about gravity. Again, I said if you're putting two of these side by side to do the standard width profile, you're going to go for something like that. But I want to show you one more thing that these can do, which it didn't list that it can do. Now, you can go ahead and try to rotate these. They're not going to lock. But gravity only, they are going to go like that, and they're still going to mount. Now, if you want a little trick, you can go like that, and then they won't come out. So you could always lock them down, especially if you're going to just put this in your vehicle and you want to use 3D printed mounts and not spend any money, except for screws. Definitely a good way to do it and lock stuff into place. You could see you would obviously have 2 spaces, or you could just have a whole gaggle of them. I love these. But from a 3D printed standpoint, before I had my wall covered with all the grid, can you just like show them that grid? All this, right? Giant waste of money if you don't care about organization, and I do. So because of that, and we're going for free, right? Download these, easily a 4 out of 5. Bing, 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 bing. On the Packout scale. We are at the #1 slot. I'm putting away my tools as I clean up my messes. Come on. #1 would imply #1, right? Number one. This is the joke, by the way. I didn't prepare a dad joke. GROK did one for us.
Like GROK can't count?
Yeah, it's going to keep going. I hope you guys have gotten your counter out, your abacus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In fact, weirdly enough, it gave us 5 options.
It gave us 7, really, but I pared it down a little.
For #1, and that is tool-specific mounts. And boy, that's a very interesting concept. Tool-specific mounts. What does that mean? Well, in that list, it actually included a Electron Smith idea.
It included 2 of them.
What was the second one?
The bit driver storage, like the bit holders and the bit bins that we have.
Yeah.
That's part of the rotary organization kit.
But
so
but that was still Electron Smith.
They're both Electron Smith, yes.
All right, Electron Smith, if you didn't hear us before, has done some great designs. And one of those great designs was the infamous bit bin. And the bit bin looks like this. And yes, even my own stuff is unorganized. This was the original bit bin that he did, and he designed a 5/32 holder. He designed a 1/4 inch, right? I even did a remix of it, and it's uploaded on Thingiverse, I think, and it's for SDS bits, and it also holds like 7/16. But that was the bit bin. But it said the rotary tool organizer. And it was a bin like this without this optimized print tie one, which is you can just get rid of the bottom if
but
you don't
also
care.
it allows you to reach through to your stuff. Really
It does allow you to
easily
reach
from standard
through.
profile.
If you double stack this with a bunk bin, we call it, you can fit these in standard profiles. But rotary tool organizers allow you to take these round shafts that your Dremel bits have and put them in a bin like this. And Electron Smith also designed this to hold all of your screwdriver bits, you know, your standard 1/4 inch bits. All of those can go in one of these kinds of packouts, and that's, again, what JakeOfALL used to do bread and butter, because we worked with Electron Smith and we got the rights and we were allowed to print his stuff, right? So bit bins, rotary tool organizer, all that kind of square and standard profile, square and rectangle bins and holders, right? So we have sanding disc holders, we have drum sanding holders, SDS, 1/2 inch router, 1/4 inch router, you name it.
They all look really similar, so if you've been victim of me grabbing one thing and thinking it was another and having to exchange it, I'm sorry.
So that is your rotary tool and your bit holders.
We didn't print those because we have them, and you can see them right here. Mia, please put this on the screen if you haven't already.
Up above, okay? So tool specific holders, right? You guys asked for it. It is literally the #1. And why, right? Because you guys go out and you buy your Packout and it's empty. And you take all the bins and you throw them like I do. And then you go, why doesn't Milwaukee put this in here? Can you open that one up? That's right in front of you.
This one?
Yep. And hand me the foam. So Milwaukee has done very few full Packouts to where you can get it to where it's molded to fit the tool. Now this one, they did a slightly more expensive foam. It's not like the blow molded cases, right? It's got a place for a charger, it's got a place for a battery, but you got to buy it like this. And a lot of you have said, Milwaukee, we'd love to do this, and they just started doing one. I, in fact, think you can get a mechanic Packout drawer for like $3,500. And it's a full stack about this big, loaded out the wazoo.
They're just pennies, really.
Just pennies. But you guys don't want that, right? You already own the tool, you own the Packout. So what do you want to do? Say, for example, you have a standard profile. Okay, you guys know what a standard profile? That's this. And you want to put the fuel version of your OMT in it. This takes up one side, and then the fuel one goes in, sort of something like that. I don't have the fuel one. I know there's a tool I don't have. And you then can put all of your OMT blades in here.
Is that what you were asking for a new one the other day?
Yeah, but I think I really just want the M12. I would like to, I know this sounds crazy. I don't need another tool all the time. This one works, and yeah, it's the older, but it works great. I'd honestly like just something smaller. But I love my drawers, and any tool that I use a lot of, if it doesn't hang well, but I use it enough that I want to get to it quicker, I like to keep it in a drawer. Well, Milwaukee Dave has this one. This is for the non-fuel, and this looks like it's for a 3 or a 2 drawer.
I believe so.
And that's sort of
You like my I ran out of filament color scheme?
I mean,
I try to use colors that not people order very often.
We try to I'm sorry, I interrupted.
I don't remember what I was saying.
You say you try to use colors that people
Well, yeah, because I don't want to. The way bamboo stocks their filament, it takes a sacrifice for 3 different deities in order to get a shipment on remotely close to enough time.
It absolutely does. So this is a good example of a drawer organizer, tool specific. I'm going to show you a flaw, not with Dave's design, just all of the designs in general. And then you guys are going to be surprised in my rating out of 5 what I think this is. And it's not anything specifically negative towards the designers. Okay, so here we go. I love this. And since I use this tool not a lot, but not enough that I want it hanging on the wall, plus it doesn't hang well, definitely going in my drawers. Keeping this one. This one will be under the Misfit sale. Okay, we also have
a grinder holder.
A grinder holder. And what do you mean by a grinder holder? So, you know your, it's outside. This is for like the 4.5-inch grinder to go into a standard profile Packout. It sits in here diagonally, in fact, and then we'll throw one.
Luke Frank is the creator.
Luke Frank. But you have places for your tools, places for your shields, all your little accessories. Boom, okay? Tool specific, right? You're buying it for a specific tool. And this is where we're going to get into what I'm saying, like tool specific. Like this. This one is for an impact.
But it's also from Milwaukee Dave.
It's from Milwaukee Dave.
It is. Milwaukee Dave's been busy, and honestly, I have not been upset by the things that I have seen. So definitely check him out if you're looking.
Milwaukee Dave, it doesn't fit. Because it's tool specific. I know that. Why doesn't, okay, so even though Milwaukee doesn't make a big change, if you have something like this, or you go from a Gen 1 to a Gen 2, or say you have the Gen 2 and this is for a Gen 3, there's just slight differences. And this is why I like Kaizen foam. And I'm just going to put it out there. I know this video is free STLs. You can't download Kaizen foam, and you definitely can't buy it for free. But Kaizen foam, if it didn't fit by just a little bit like that, you could come in and cut it out. And yes, I realize that this is a level of OCD that in my brain, if I'm not going to upgrade my tools, I'm printing them for myself as well. Like this one. I love it. But the second I put a mount on here somewhere, it doesn't fit, and then we have to modify it in the designs. Like this one. It has a mount on it. It doesn't seem to fit right. It's made for a different drill, but it is a great design. It is compact. It utilizes the space. You could put a battery there. Yes, Milwaukee Dave definitely makes some great stuff. Here's another one. Now this one, I don't remember whose this is.
3DLG. This is also on MakerWorld.
3DLG. He even took the DeWalt style bit rails where it's hex, and then you're not sitting there shredding your fingers trying to pull bits out. And he put brackets, and I'm going to pull this up to the camera.
Here. Look at how fancy those sit in there.
Oh, camera.
I'm being on top of it. Ta-da!
Like that. So this one, he designed it where he put bit holder rails in here, and then he designed a bit holder to go in here. So you can have bits along with your insert. Now this is for your standard profile. This drill does not 100% match which gen he had, because I think these are old Gen 2s, and this must be for a Gen 3. But what I can tell you is that it does basically fit, and it's really cool the way he's got a spot for a battery and a spot for the bit rails.
Oh, it makes it easier to just grab and go.
Exactly. You can have this in a Packout like this, throw it on your stack, ready to go, or combine it with the wall mounts and have the one drill that you access all the time right there by the door, ready to go, something like that. Now, I know I said the little, negative thing about it. You guys have seen Jonah Pope designs. He's got one up for just about every tool that exists, which means whether it's a Gen 3 or Gen 4, Gen 1, Gen 2, definitely can get it that probably meets your needs. If it doesn't meet your needs, what do? You print it, you hope it fits, you get a grinder out, plastic, 3D printed, you start grinding, it doesn't, or use Kaizen foam. So because of that, tool-specific inserts, I'm only giving them a 3 out of 5. I know. Ding, ding, ding. You guys can fight me in the comments. I like Kaizen foam. I know. I'm old school. Kaizen foam, if you put it in a clear Packout and you put it under the sun, guess what's going to happen? It's probably going to melt. These act as magnifying glasses. But in that same respect, if the person or you, this is a hint to yourself, you're going to see a sale on PLA. That's awesome. Okay? You better hope you don't take them out of your house. Okay? And if your house is in Arizona and you're on the second floor and you don't have great air conditioning, you better not even do that either. You're going to make sure you do like ASA, ABS, or PETG at the worst. Use PETG. Okay? That's where we start with everything. You want durability. The lids act as magnifying glasses. Inside your Packout gets warmer. You want to make sure you have something that can take the heat. It's a really important tip for any 3D printing, but specifically for Packouts with their clear lids. You ready for this one? Dad joke number 5. My rotary tool was so disorganized it started spinning lies. But now, with this insert, it's finally well-rounded. Oh my gosh. Honestly, I think it got some of the jokes from me.
I think yours are better.
So this, I'm gonna spoil this joke, right? Did you know that this is a milk crate with a Packout foot on it? So you say, what do I do with that? You put cups in here. But GROK seems to think that I was gonna empty the shop, mount 10 of these on the wall. So whether you guys like it or not, GROK is not gonna replace the JakeOfALL. So you're gonna have to get over it. I'm here to stay. And this, well, I think this is cool. So we're going to go ahead and throw this one because it's commercially available on the website. I think this would be a great little addition to where, especially if you're buying something for your husband and you buy him all those cool tools, you throw one of these things in and be like, cool, I don't know, it's a milk crate. Put milk in it, or put your Zen thing in it. Or
your Zen.
Zen, whatever, I don't know. But that's it. I think the last thing I'm supposed to do is sign off, and I'm going to do it the way GROK suggested, which is I say JakeOfALL out.
But you're supposed to twist jump. Woo!
Oh, twist jump. I'm kidding. Packout. I gotta go. You still there?
Sometimes.
Hey, I got an idea.
Okay.
I can't use all these. Why don't we give them away?
Cool. So they'll just fill out the form in the description, and if they have a specific one they want, we'll just
Exactly.
mail it to
So those of you who stuck around, you win. Go to the below, hit the link in the description. You can win some of these that I'm not keeping. See ya.